Non-fungible tokens, Decentraland, and hidden treasure are going to be the topic of this morning's video. Good morning. Okay, let's have a quick look at non-fungible tokens. For those of you who still don't understand the difference between fungible and non-fungible tokens, I've prepared a little explainer video. What is the meaning of fungible and non-fungible? Fungible is an item that has the same value of another item. It is mutually interchangeable. Let me give you an example. If you lend a friend $1 and he pays you back a week later, you're not going to expect the exact same dollar bill. Any dollar will do. You're more concerned about the value of the item than the exact specific item. In other words, that item is fungible. Non-fungible items are often collector's items, but they don't have to be. It could be something like a car. Let me give you two examples. First, a collector's item. If you had an antique table and you lent it to a friend, and a week later he returned a similar table that was the same size, you might be upset because it does not have the same value as your unique collector's antique table. In other words, it is a non-fungible collector's item. It is not interchangeable with other similar items. Another example of a non-collector's item would be your car. If you took your car in for a service and the dealer gave you back a similar car, the same make, the same model, you might be upset, but you might also be happy because the car would be in a better or worse condition than your car. In other words, even though it is a similar item, it is non-fungible and non-interchangeable. We have the same with tokens. We have non-fungible tokens and fungible tokens. I hope this clears up the difference between fungible and non-fungible items. Okay, now that we clearly understand what a fungible and non-fungible token is, let's get into it. Okay, let's look at what's been going on in the world of non-fungible tokens. Now, it is amazing to think that you can have a digital representation of something on the blockchain. In other words, you might have a digital representation of a rare piece of art or a digital representation of land, and this could be digital land in the case of Decentraland, or at a later stage as we progress, it could actually be the bearer or a bearer bond for a piece of real land. It seems that that would be a really good use case for a non-fungible token. But just to put it in perspective, a non-fungible token is a token that represents something unique. It can be in the real world or it can be a digital representation of something. Let's have a look at the price of non-fungible tokens and what we can expect to see going forward. If you have the ability to choose, like choosing a piece of art, a very valuable non-fungible token, it could be worth potentially millions of dollars. If we have a look at this article from Cointelegraph, we can see that we've had some sale of non-fungible tokens, and this is from 2019. So God's Unchained Atlas Eye, and it gives you an ID. This is a competitive card game on the blockchain. So this non-fungible token sold for $31,000 US, which is the equivalent of around about $500,000 rand. We have another one, and then we have a battle cruiser, which I believe is a game token that can be used in game. We also have Decentraland. Now this is a lot of interest to me. This is a piece of land, a piece of digital land that is sold, and you can actually build on it on the decentralized platform. And this land was sold for $80,000 US. So just to give you an idea, that is the equivalent of about 1.3 million South African rands. You could buy a 3-bedroom flat or 3-bedroom house in a reasonable part of South Africa for the same price that you can buy a 16 by 16 meter property in cyberspace. So these non-fungible tokens, this one in particular that represents a piece of land in Decentraland, are certainly valuable. And if you have an eye to choose the right one, it could potentially be worth a fortune. And then the number one non-fungible token that was sold for the highest price, which is $113,000 US, and that would be around just under 2 million South African rands. It is a Formula One racing car, if you have a look here, and it is sold and it can actually be raced when the game is developed, and that was sold for just under 2 million rand. Absolutely crazy, but it certainly bears testament to non-fungible tokens and what we can expect to see. Now let's just look at some websites. We've got Super Rare, where you can buy digital art, and by owning the non-fungible token behind that piece of art, you can prove that you are in fact the owner of that. And then we've got a website called Rareable, where you can buy a host of NFTs, and they've all got different prices. You can buy, sell, and trade them. Sites like Super Rare and Rareable, to me, don't really hold much value because it's just not really my kind of thing. I don't understand how something like that has a unique value, but clearly there are millions of people that do, because it is taking off and there's a lot of trade and there is a lot of interaction with these NFTs. So it is certainly a space to watch. Something that is of much interest to me is Decentraland and buying a piece of land on Decentraland. Okay, so let's have a look at what is going on in Decentraland. As you can see, it is a virtual world. Some people call it a game. I actually don't know what to call it. Really, I guess it's just a virtual land. Now you can run around. That's me. I'm running around Decentraland, just looking at what is around, what is out there. And guys, it's a lot of fun. It is obviously very much gamified, but the amazing thing about this is that it is all on the blockchain. You can go to certain areas, you can check out certain worlds, you can see what's going on. I mean, there we seem to have a stadium behind me, and I think you get the idea. It is just a lot of fun. So people are going into Decentraland. You can buy a piece of land, and if you buy a piece of land, you can do kind of just about anything on it. Let's have an example here. This is a piece of land that is bought, live events and local info. So that gives you an idea of the size of the land. You can see by the black border there, it is 16 meters by 16 meters. That's sort of the measurement of Decentraland. Now, this is all on the blockchain. So you can actually go to the marketplace with your MetaMask wallet and you can start to buy certain things. So you could buy wearables for your avatar. As you can see, there's a hat, there's a pair of sneakers or a t-shirt. But what excites me is land. You can buy land. Now, land, you can build something on it, or there's a host of things you could do. Let's have a look at what the cheapest land on the platform is at this stage. Let's just order it by cheapest. So as you can see, there is land available for 8,000 mana. Now, mana is the in-game currency that is used on the Decentraland platform. It is currently worth about 7 US cents, which means that this would cost 8,000 mana would be around about 9,500 rand. So certainly not a game. It should be considered an investment. This piece of land would be represented as a non-fungible token on your Ethereum address. So something like MetaMask would make it really easy to use and to be able to trade with, buy, sell, or build on. Land, of course, has different values depending on a number of factors. Just like in the real world, it would depend on the location of the land. So if you look at the Decentraland map, we can have a look here. This would be the atlas. So obviously anything near that central plaza would have a greater value than something that was on the outskirts. A piece of land like that might have a much higher price. Okay, this would be representing a whole parcel or a whole estate. I want to just try and see if I could click on just a single piece. No, that would represent 2 pieces of land, and if I clicked on that, it would be 1 piece of land, but it costs 2,500 mana. So you can see the location is obviously great because any avatar or any person landing in the decentralized platform would be able to see that. If you're a company, it would be a prime spot for advertising or for anything, any type of marketing or business idea that you were developing on the Decentraland platform. But now I have something very exciting planned, a treasure hunt. Guys, this is not going to be easy, but whoever gets the treasure first is going to get 1,000 xZAR tokens. There's also $10 worth of Ethereum in that address so that you can pay the fees. It's going to be challenging, but it will certainly test your knowledge of crypto, your knowledge of private keys, and it is a good exercise to do. Let's get started. What you need to do, and I will also put the clues below. First of all, you need to find the address of my plot of land in Decentraland. To help you with that, this video above talks about a piece of land that I was considering buying over a year ago, and I actually purchased it. So if you go to that piece of land, you will have found my address. Second of all, you're going to need a code to get in. The first 2 digits of the code are 44. The second 2 digits of the code, well, I don't want to make it too easy, so that will be up to you to figure out. Once you are inside, look around for a QR code. When you find that QR code, it is the private key of an Ethereum address. Once you have that private key, I would advise you to very quickly move those funds off of the private key, because you'll remember you are competing with others, and whoever moves the funds off of that address first will be entitled to keep those funds. Guys, it is going to be very exciting, and it is going to be a test of your wits. Now, there are 2 rules and 1 warning. The first rule is don't be a knucklehead. This is a family show, but you guys know what I mean. The second rule is no belly aching, complaining, or whining. If you're going to put 1,000 reasons in the comments why you feel you should have got the funds but someone else got them, guys, I'm not going to be answering comments like that. The person who gets the treasure is the rightful winner. So don't complain, just don't belly ache. It's not going to be considered and it's not going to be tolerated. We're trying to have some fun. We're trying to do a treasure hunt. We're not looking for whiners. The warning, and guys, this is just something that I've been thinking about. If you take that private key that you scanned off of the QR code, the easiest way to get access to those funds would be to load it into your MetaMask wallet. The way you would do that is you'd click on your MetaMask, you'd click create new account, you'd click import account, you'd click private key, paste it there, and boom, the funds would be in that MetaMask wallet with the address. Now, if you're going to leave that address on your MetaMask wallet, you might become confused in a month, in a year, or whenever, and you might send funds to that address. Those funds will be stolen because remember, multiple people have access to that private key. So what I would do, guys, and this is a warning, delete that address after you have extracted the funds. There is a but coming, but we'll get into that in a second. Now, if you're thinking, I'm watching this video late and I'm sure somebody else has already got the treasure and taken the funds off of that address, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you should still go and get that private key and participate in this treasure hunt. I'm going to be doing 3 airdrops or payments, if you want to call it that, of 500 xZAR into that address. This is going to take place between now and the 20th of November 2020. So what I envisage is multiple people having this address loaded in their MetaMask. When that 500 Rand comes in, whoever moves it and secures it first will be entitled to keep those funds. If you're an international viewer and you're thinking, what is xZAR? xZAR is a ERC20 token, a stable coin that is pegged 1-to-1 with the South African Rand. So what you can do if you don't want South African Rands, you can simply go to Uniswap and swap this token for any ERC20 of your choice. You could swap it for Ethereum or anything. Therefore, it certainly has value. xZAR is supported by Altcoin Trader, which is a South African exchange. So it is a currency, a stable coin that is always going to have value. You can always switch it out for other cryptocurrencies, or you could switch it out for rands and move those rands into your South African bank account. Guys, it is really easy to enter Decentraland. All you have to do is go to decentraland.org, connect your MetaMask, you will be automatically assigned an avatar and you up and running. It's as easy as that, guys. So there's no registration, there's not a lot of barriers to entry to get involved in this amazing treasure hunt. Guys, whoever gets the treasure, it would be of great value to me if you would come back to the comments and write a story. Tell us, let the whole community know what you did, how you found it. Were you a Decentraland player, or were you someone that was aware of the platform, or were you new to the platform? Let me know the challenges of how you actually got the funds out, how you imported the private keys, and just let your story be told. And then of course the same with the guys that get the additional 3 prizes of 500 Rand. Guys, be careful. There is no risk if you understand what you are doing with MetaMask. Importing a private key does not impact on your other addresses. It simply impacts on that address, and bear in mind everyone will have that private key. So any funds that go into that address are up for grabs and multiple people will take it. So don't put funds in that address. I'm just putting that warning out there again. Guys, if you're not an advanced user and you're new to all of this, I would probably advise that you don't get involved until you actually know what is going on. Alternatively, you could load up a new browser like Brave, the link below, and get a MetaMask that is only for that browser, and then do it that way. Don't get involved with your existing MetaMask. But anyone that is cautious and has a basic understanding won't have any problems with this whole experiment. I'm looking forward to this, guys. I'm holding thumbs for each and every one of you. 2,500 xZAR up for grabs. That's it from me. I'm out. Peace.